Hey guitar players, I'm Sean and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you the 7 basic minor chords that every guitar player just simply needs to know. And what are they? Well, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G minor. Now for each one of those chords, I'm going to show you a couple of fingerings and also for a few of them, some totally different versions altogether. Now, just before we get into this, if you don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, that helps me out immensely. And thank you so much in advance. And if you're interested, I have a monthly newsletter with some cool tips and tricks in it, and the link is down below. All right, let's get into it. So A minor looks and sounds like this. It's pretty straight ahead. We have our first finger on our second string, first fret. Second finger goes on the fourth string at the second fret. Third finger goes on the third string at the second fret, and we play the first and the fifth string open. We don't play the sixth string. And it goes like that. Now some people, rather than play A minor with these fingers 1, 2, and 3, they prefer to use 2, 3, and 4, and that is totally fine. So it's just the second finger on, where the first one was, and third and the fourth, like so. All right, so B minor has 2 fingerings. It has this one, which is a simplified version, and this, which is the full bar chord version. Now B minor, when you look at this part of it right here, looks an awful lot, or as a matter of fact, identical to the chord we just did, A minor. So it is exactly like A minor, couple of frets higher, with the first finger at the second fret on the first string. Now as for the bar chord version, the first finger has to go across 5 strings like so. So if you're new to barring, and barring means you're pushing down more than 1 string at a time with a single finger. So if you're new to this, you may want to kind of practice up a bit, just kind of getting used to pushing down more than 1 string at a time. Try to be as close to the fret as possible. It makes it a little bit easier. Now myself, when I'm playing B minor, I'm doing a little tricky thing here. And what that is if I just kind of move these fingers out of the way, I'm pushing down on my 5th string, and I'm pushing down on my 1st string, but the stuff in the middle, I'm not really putting the energy into pushing those down, because these fingers are up here, and the sound is coming from there on, so I don't really need to do that. So there's a little pro tip for you. You don't have to do that, but there's just that's just kind of how I handle it. Now C minor is exactly the same form as B minor. So here is the simplified version. The only difference is that instead of starting at the 2nd fret, I'm at the 3rd fret. And of course the bar chord version, exactly the same kind of thing. And I'm doing exactly myself. I'm doing the thing where I'm not pushing down those ones in the middle. Okay, D minor. First finger goes on the 1st fret on the 1st string, second finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string, third finger goes on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and I play the 4th string open with this. I don't play my 5th or my 6th string, and looks and sounds like that. Some people like to do this. They like to do pinky here instead of the 3rd finger. That's useful for, like, you may have a song later down the road where you actually have to take a finger and do something like that. So either way is totally fine, whatever works for you. Okay, E minor. There are 2 fingerings for E minor that are both great. Here's the first one, and all it is I am putting my 1st finger on my 5th string and my 2nd fret. Then I'm putting my 2nd finger on the 4th string at the 2nd fret, and I play all of the strings. Now the alternate fingering to this is just that. So I'm putting my 2nd finger on the 5th string, and I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 4th string. Either is fine. I've also seen lots of people do this as well, 3rd finger and 4th finger. Although I would say that these two, the first 2 that I showed you, are probably the most popular. Okay, F minor. We have 2 versions of F minor. We have this, which is the simplified version, and the full bar chord version like so. Okay, So these can be a bit at first. So what's going on is, with the simplified version, is I am barring the first 3 strings at the 1st fret. And remember to try to get nice and close to the fret wire itself. It's easier to play there. So I leave those barred, and then I take my 3rd finger and I place it right here on the 4th string. So that's the 3rd fret on the 4th string. Don't play the 5th or the 6th string, just those. Okay, and there it is from the side view. I am totally pushing all of those down. I find it personally a little bit easier, instead of having my finger rigidly straight like so, to kind of curve it a little bit. But we're all different. You'll have to experiment with this. Another cool thing to try is maybe angling the finger a little bit. Not extreme, but just a little bit. You may find that works for your hand. But again, like I said, we're all individuals, and you'll have to experiment with that. Now, as for the bar chord version, it's very similar to what we just did with the simplified version. Here it is here. It is what we already had, plus a couple of notes. And if you look at this, I don't know if this would be helpful to you or not, this looks an awful lot, or exactly like E minor that we just did a second ago, just kind of moved up a fret and then barring across like so. Okay, don't worry if this doesn't come out, you know, great the first couple of times you do it. It may take a little bit of practice. Now, G minor is exactly the same as the F minor, except we are up at the 3rd fret. Now, this may work a little bit better for you than down here. You'll find that as you get further away from the nut, the strings are a bit easier to push for a while. So around here, you may have more success. Okay, so there's the G minor simplified version, and then of course, the bar chord version. So there you go, there's the 7 basic minor chords that every guitar player needs to know. As for the bar chord versions, if you haven't had to do that before, just take your time and experiment with those things I talked about, like finger angle and being close to the fret, etc., etc. You'll totally get it. All right, hope that helps. I'm Sean.